Hey, it's meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen with the 9 News Weather Impact Team with a look at your forecast for today and beyond. It'll be a little bit cooler today as we just had a cold front roll through the area here this morning, keeping the front range just a few degrees cooler than it was yesterday. Yesterday hit 83. I think maybe 10 degrees cooler today, but we'll have a good deal of sunshine, so it'll feel nice outside. Just a little bit of a stiff breeze coming in from the north and northeast. A little bit of a bite to it, but not too bad. Take a look at your forecast for today here in Denver. Lots of sunshine, hardly any clouds in the sky today. We'll get those temperatures up into the 70s. Likely holding at about 72, 73 degrees today as that cooler air presses in continuously from the north and northeast. Our forecast highs across the rest of the state and the region. A little bit cooler today all across the eastern plains, about the same in the high country today, 60s and maybe a few 70s and a few 80s out there on the western slope today. We have a freeze watch coming tonight. If you look at just to the east, that's where the cold air is situated. We've got freeze warnings in place out in Kansas, and right along the Kansas-Colorado state line, we have a freeze watch in place for tomorrow morning. So Tuesday morning, it could reach temperatures right at freezing or potentially even below freezing. But if you look at the forecast for right now, it does look like a lot of the computer model averages are keeping those temperatures in the low 30s, just above the freezing mark for a lot of those areas. But there is some potential as that cold air is kind of situated towards the east of the state of Colorado, that cold air could press in and cause a freeze here on the eastern plains. On the Front Range, we stay cool with temperatures mainly in the 40s, low 40s for us, 20s and 30s in the mountains. And the heat will continue. We added one more red day to our calendar of high temperatures. 13 out of 14 days have been above average. We'll have another above average day today despite the cool front that's coming through. Our normal high temperature for today is 66. So it could stop at 66, but most likely will rise above that. Then Wednesday and Thursday and most likely Friday will also be above average temperatures before we start to feel the impacts of our next storm system on Friday night, and we'll add a blue square on Saturday for sure. And because of yesterday's near record-breaking temperature here in Denver, we have retaken the top spot by a long shot here for the warmest start to October. So the first 14 days of October, we are in the #1 spot, and that will likely stay in the top 5 all the way through the end of October, and we may even take that top spot overall because we do not have any significantly cold temperatures in the forecast all the way until Halloween or maybe the day before Halloween. So without a freeze, these temperatures are going to stay high, and we could be the warmest October of all time. So here's your future cast for today. There will be some isolated showers once again in parts of the high country, mainly to the south and mainly in the higher terrain. So we're talking about mainly above 10,000 feet with a lot of these showers and very limited shower activity. So fairly dry for most of us today. And also notice on the Front Range, not too many clouds in the area around sunset tonight. A few clouds, but not as many as last night, which means we will have a chance to see the comet, the Tsuchinchan Atlas Comet. So Tsuchinchan is a difficult name. It's kind of a tongue twister. So a lot of people are just calling it a T-Atlas Comet. This is a shot that I took last night from my roof in Arvada. You can clearly see the comet shortly after sunrise. So after the sun goes down, give it about 30 minutes, let your eyes start to acclimate to the dark sky, and you should see that if you look towards the west and maybe slightly to the southwest. But that was pretty much straight to the west, looking from my roof in Arvada last night. So pretty cool sight. You can really call that comet whatever you want because it's not going to be in our neighborhood for another 80,000 years. So it doesn't come around too much. It'll be a great sight to see if you can get out there tonight to see that. The forecast highs for tomorrow will raise back up. Could come close to 80 degrees tomorrow along the Front Range. Maybe some parts of the Denver metro area could break 80, but for most part, we're looking at upper 70s here for our area. Maybe just briefly touching 80 for a few minutes tomorrow. And here's the reason: we have this high pressure system that's in the middle of the country here. That does include Colorado. It'll continue to spin there for 2 or 3 days until about Friday afternoon. And as we put this forecast model into motion, you see its latest solution for that next storm system that's coming our way this weekend. Very similar. This is starting to see some consistency here with the modeling, with the low pressure system getting cut off from the jet stream, diving down to the south of Colorado, southwest of Colorado into the Great Basin, blocked by an area of strong high pressure out to the east. So that means it's going to be a very slow moving system, and it's also cut off from the jet stream, losing some of its energy, and that will keep the low temperature potential a little bit warmer than you might expect with a storm system coming in at this time of year. But it should give us a little taste of winter here with some significant snow to the high country, and perhaps at least some fall-like feeling out here in the Front Range, Denver metro area. The first impact, however, from that storm system will be on Wednesday and Thursday, as we will have an elevated fire weather condition, because we'll have some dry air and the winds will kick up. Of course, the grasses and a lot of the ground cover is starting to die out or cure for the season. So that combination is a bad scenario for fire weather, and we'll have some critical fire weather just to the east in parts of Nebraska and Kansas, but elevated fire weather here for most of eastern Colorado, very close to the Front Range. And then on Thursday, this will most likely expand to include the Front Range, and that critical fire weather will move likely into the eastern plains of Colorado. And then your next impact from that storm system will be the snow. Here's an early look at the computer forecast model long range here, as this is the starting Friday morning going through Sunday morning. And you can see that most likely the significant snow from this storm will be in the southwest San Juans between Durango and Telluride. We could see more than a foot of snow out of this system, and it could start the snowpack accumulation season for the year, where we just add this snowpack up through the winter. But you also see some other areas that will likely get some good hits. Perhaps maybe the mountains in between Summit County and Park County and Lake County. We could get some significant snow out of this system. In the Denver metro area and parts of the Front Range, we're likely not going to see any snow accumulation, but I think the best we could do is maybe get a rain-snow mix going on Sunday or Saturday morning very early, briefly. But we'll come close to knocking off these winter milestones. The first freeze of the season, we've been waiting a while for that one. If that does happen on Saturday, the 19th, it will be one of the later freezes. Only about 20% of our freezes come after the 18th of October, so that would be pretty late. But if somehow we skate through this storm system this weekend without hitting that freezing mark, we'll likely be probably talking about breaking record late freezes, because the long-range computer models after this storm system do not show a lot of great opportunities to break freezing until about Halloween, which would put us in the top 5 latest freezes if we wait that long. And as far as that first snow in Denver, it does not look likely with this storm. So we'll have to wait a little bit longer, but if it does happen somehow on Saturday morning, all we need is 1/10 of an inch at Denver International Airport to officially get that first snow accumulation. It would only be 1 day late. So but like I said, there's not a lot of significant chances after that. So we could be looking at a fairly late first snow this year as well. So here's what that all looks like on the 7-day forecast. You see the windy, dry conditions on Wednesday and Thursday leading to that fire weather. Scattered showers on Friday. We're looking at some pretty good coverage. Perhaps 70% of us here on the Front Range will get some measurable rain out of this system. Right now the models are putting out anything from 1/10 of an inch to 1/2 an inch of rain for some of us here on Friday into Saturday morning. So that is a significant amount of rain that we'll look forward to. Hopefully that does come through for us, because it has been, we're in another dry stretch. And if you also look at the low temperature forecast for Saturday morning, which is the second temperature there on the top of the Friday, that's Saturday morning there, 36 degrees. That would be short of the freezing mark, but very close. And a lot of times Denver International Airport is much colder than it is here in Denver. So we could be 36 here in Denver and 32 at the airport, and we would have that first freeze officially. So that's something to watch for. And then Saturday is going to be one of those cold days, and starting out rainy. People will be bringing out the turtlenecks and probably the winter coats for that one here in the Denver metro area, because we have not seen cold temperatures in a while. And Sunday looks like a classic October day, cool and breezy as we start to see a little bit of sunshine, and then we slowly warm up to just above normal temperatures here on Monday and Tuesday. So that's a look at your forecast in as much detail as we could provide at this moment. So have a great day, and thanks for tuning in.